On the way to my best friend's wedding, my fiance gently squeezed my hand and quietly leaned close, saying, "Don't go inside. Just smile and wave." My entire body locked instantly in place. I whispered softly back to him, "Why?" My voice barely formed. He subtly tilted his head toward the tall church doors. And when I finally looked, my breath caught painfully inside. In that fragile moment there, I understood something had broken. I knew with certainty then I would never see her the same way again. My name is Natalie Cruz, and at that time I was only 26 years old when my closest friend was preparing to marry. Her name was Claire Adams. We had been inseparable forever, since kindergarten days together, sharing colorful lunchboxes daily, childhood secrets whispered quietly, and later hopeful conversations about dream weddings someday. She was the one person I believed I could trust without hesitation or doubt. The friend I pictured always standing beside me through every major life milestone. That morning at home early, my mother, Elena, helped me prepare carefully for the day. She pinned my hair back with warm, gentle fingers, saying, "Natalie, you've always been such a loyal friend to Claire through everything. She's truly lucky having you there beside her today." I smiled softly hearing that, comforted deeply by her words. But had I known then what awaited inside those walls, I would have clung harder to that brief, peaceful moment. Ethan, my fiancé, stood beside me like he always did. He was steady, calm, observant, the type noticing hidden details others easily overlook daily. We had been together 3 years, and in many ways he grounded me completely. I trusted his instincts deeply, even when logic failed me. As we drove towards ceremony, I felt only pure excitement. The church shimmered with white roses, parking lot overflowing, music drifting through open doors. Guests laughed, hugged, exchanged greetings, and pride swelled inside me thinking about Claire today. She looked destined for happiness, about to live the dream we discussed growing up endlessly. But as Ethan and I neared the main entrance together, the atmosphere shifted abruptly. His hand tightened around mine, so suddenly I stopped short. When I turned toward him, I saw something unfamiliar there, a warning written in silence. Then he whispered words that cracked the day apart. "Don't go inside, just smile and wave." Confusion ignited inside me like wildfire. Why? I asked, trembling slightly. He stayed silent for seconds. Instead, he nodded again quietly toward the heavy church doors. When I followed his stare, everything inside me shifted. If this story already has you hooked, make sure to subscribe to my channel and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. My heart pounded loudly as Ethan's warning lingered heavily. I wanted desperately to believe it meant absolutely nothing, that maybe he misread something or misunderstood something happening. But Ethan never panicked irrationally. His calm, dependable nature was why I trusted him, and the look in his eyes told me truth. Still gripping his hand tightly, I tried slowing my breathing, then whispered once more quietly, "What's wrong? Please tell me." He didn't respond immediately again. Instead, he gave another nod toward the slightly open doors, encouraging me to look myself. Uneasy, confused, and shaking, I slowly turned my head, following exactly where he looked. At first, I noticed candles, soft light, warm and flickering, guests settling into wooden seats, gentle music floating outward. Then my eyes found Claire, my best friend, standing near the altar. She was glowing, wrapped inside the gown she once described years ago during late-night streaming weddings. For a moment, almost smiled, but then something felt wrong. I noticed she wasn't alone. Someone stood far too close. Leaning toward her unsettlingly close, my stomach twisted painfully tight. It was someone I recognized. Immediately, shock hit my chest. The sight landed like violence. It was Ryan Matthews there, the man I once loved, the one who shattered heart. I swore never to revisit. I believed that life buried. That chapter closed after Ethan. He showed me honest love. Yet now Ryan stood there, inside a place he shouldn't, standing beside Claire wedding day. And it wasn't only him. It was how they looked. Their bodies angled toward intimacy. Claire's hand lingered near her arm, as if pulled without thinking. All air escaped my lungs. My chest burned sharply inside. My knees weakened beneath me. I squeezed Ethan's hand harder, unsure whether to flee, or turn away from pain. Questions attacked my racing thoughts, questions I desperately avoided asking. Why was Ryan even here? Why was Claire so close? Minutes before marrying someone else? Had she hidden some truth? My thoughts returned past weeks. Claire had been busy lately, stressed, distracted, but seemingly normal. I assumed simple wedding nerves. Standing outside church beside Ethan, his warning echoed inside me. Had I ignored obvious signs? Because I trusted her completely. Ethan's whisper cut through thoughts. Natalie, he whispered firmly, don't walk inside pretending calm. I know what I saw. I refuse letting you blindsided. I faced him, eyes burning. Tears, anger, heartbreak mixing violently. None of this makes sense. Well, I whispered, voice completely breaking. She's my best friend. She wouldn't do this to me, not Claire. Ethan's eyes softened instantly, but his grip around my hand never loosened even slightly. Sometimes the people closest to us are the ones who can hurt us the most, he said quietly. Those words sliced straight through. Not because I wanted to believe them at all, but because standing there watching Claire with Ryan, I couldn't fully deny it. I felt caught between disbelief and a rising, burning rage. My chest felt unbearably heavy, as if every shared memory with Claire was unraveling. The sleepovers, childhood promises, the secrets whispered late nights, our future wedding dreams together. Everything suddenly felt stained now. And Ryan being there made the betrayal hurt deeper. He wasn't just some man. He was the one person who had broken me completely, in ways I never thought I would ever recover from. Seeing him beside Claire felt like betrayal doubled, tearing open scars I believed had healed long ago. They now felt raw again. My mother's voice echoed loudly inside my spinning thoughts. Words she repeated through years whenever heartbreak found me. Natalie, trust your instincts always. If something feels wrong, it usually truly is. My instincts were screaming now, louder than ever before. Something was deeply, terribly wrong. Yet part of me wanted to storm inside, demand answers from Claire, rip apart the beautiful lie she was about to show. Another part of me wanted to run far away, escape humiliation and pain before truth crushed me. I stood completely frozen there, torn between fight and flight, Ethan's steady hand anchoring me. Inside, the music swelled louder as the ceremony drew closer. I realized time was gone. When's gone. No more hiding in shadows. I had to choose now. The weight of betrayal pressed down hard against my chest. Questions clawed through my mind. But one truth stood clear. I couldn't pretend anymore. This wasn't just a wedding. What I saw changed everything. No matter how day ended, nothing between me, Claire, and Ryan would ever be the same again. I stood frozen outside doors, my heart hammering uncontrollably loud. I swore everyone could hear. Guests continued arriving happily, smiling, laughing, hugging each other. For them, joy filled everything. Another wedding, another celebration. For me, the world tilted, leaving me on unsteady ground. I clutched Ethan's hand desperately like it was saving me. Ethan's voice broke through fog. Natalie, listen to me. You don't have to go inside. You can leave right now. No one would blame you. His tone steady yet urgent, like he knew this choice would define everything ahead. My lips trembled, whispering back. But I have to know. I can't live forever wondering if I imagined all this. I glanced again toward doorway, that narrow sliver of sight, where I saw Claire and Ryan standing far too close. My stomach churned violently inside. My chest tightened painfully hard. There was no ignoring it. I took one shaky step forward. Ethan squeezed my hand harder. Natalie, please, if you walk in there, it won't be the same. You can't unsee this. His warning echoed loudly inside my spinning thoughts. But my heart felt stronger still. I needed answers more than fear. I needed truth straight from Claire, from the person meant to be my best friend. Turning back was impossible now, not if I wanted peace. Not even a small piece. So I inhaled deeply there and finally made my choice. I was going to confront her. I couldn't let lies rot inside, settling like me. If she truly hid something, I had to know first, before she walked that aisle and promised her life elsewhere. And if I was wrong, if logic explained everything away, then she deserved to speak. I turned toward Ethan slowly and said softly yet firmly, I need to hear it from her directly myself. I need to see her eyes and know the truth. His jaw tightened visibly then, but he nodded very slowly. Then I'm with you, he said without hesitation. Those words filled me strength. No matter how badly this went, I would not be alone. Together we moved toward entrance. I pushed the heavy wooden door, opening just enough space inside. The music played softly around us, guests murmured quietly nearby, air thick with perfume, roses. My heart slammed violently inside, so hard I felt dizzy. Still, I forced myself onward, walking toward side hallway near altar. That was where I saw them, where I knew Claire waited, before ceremony officially began. When I turned that corner, there she was standing there. Claire in her wedding gown, veil pinned perfectly in place, makeup flawless beyond belief. To everyone else, she looked like the perfect, glowing bride. But I couldn't forget her eyes, how they lingered on Ryan just moments earlier today. She noticed me immediately then, her face faltering just briefly before smiling far too bright. Natalie, she said, strained softly. I'm so glad you're here. I was just about to. I didn't let her finish. My voice came sharper than expected. Who was that with you? Her eyes widened in panic, fear flashing across her face. She glanced quickly toward side door where Ryan had already slipped. What are you talking about? She asked, sounding confused, but her voice cracked badly. Don't lie to me, Claire, I said with tight throat. I saw you. I saw him. How long has this been? My words sliced through air sharply. For a moment, everything faded. The music, guests, ceremony sounds. It was just me and her, two girls who once shared secrets, lying on bedroom floors, laughing. Now standing on opposite sides of a betrayal threatening everything, Claire's shoulders slumped downward, her eyes glassy with tears. She whispered, Natalie, please. Not here, not today. Her words confirmed everything inside. I wasn't imagining any of it. Something real, something dark. Something had been happening secretly between her and Ryan. My chest felt unbearably heavy, like my ribs were collapsing. But beneath pain lived something else. Resolve, clear, unshakable resolve. I shook my head slowly, my voice trembling yet firm. If you loved me truly like you always claimed before, you wouldn't let this happen. You wouldn't do this to me. Tears blurred my vision badly, but I refused to look away. Ethan stepped closer beside me, his hand resting gently there, a silent promise of support. In that moment, I understood the truth was already clear, at least clear enough for me. I didn't need full confessions. I didn't need every detail. What I needed was the courage to walk away from the illusion of friendship already completely shattered. My decision was finally made. I would not expose her before all gathered guests, and I would not ruin her wedding publicly, but I would not sit inside that church pretending to celebrate happiness. She had already taken far too much from me, and I refused letting her steal my dignity, too. I took one final look, memorizing the face before me, the friend I believed knew. Then I turned to Ethan. Let's go, I whispered softly. He nodded, arm wrapping tight, as we moved toward doors. I felt Claire's stare burning, pressing sharply into my back, but I did not turn. My choice was already made, and there was no return. Walking out that hallway felt like dragging heavy weight. Every step away from Claire made my chest ache deeply, but each step also reminded me I chose myself, even leaving someone I once considered family forever. Ethan stayed close beside me, his arms strong and steady, guiding me toward the exit. As we reached the foyer, a sudden hush fell hard. Guests turned heads slowly, their whispers rising like waves. I realized Claire followed me. Her veil trailed behind her, her face pale yet firm. Determination burned unmistakably there. She would not let me leave quietly without confrontation. Natalie, wait, Claire called out, her voice breaking slightly, yet loud enough carrying far, drawing curious stares from guests, still settling inside wooden pews. My steps faltered briefly, but I did not turn. I refused hearing excuses publicly. I wanted to leave with dignity still remaining. She quickened pace urgently, closing distance just behind me. Please just give me a chance to explain, she pleaded desperately aloud. I stopped, body going rigid, then turned to face her. The room grew even quieter, guests craning necks eagerly. I hated standing exposed, but my voice stayed steady. Explain what, Claire? Explain that the man who broke my heart stands here on your wedding day? That you've hidden something from me all this time? You explain that. My words struck sharply hard, like a slap across face. Color drained completely from her. Ethan's hand pressed gently back, urging me silently leave, but I stood firm still. Claire glanced around nervously, the eyes darting toward guests nearby, who clearly overheard too much. Her fiancé, Mark, wasn't present, but I felt ticking seconds. Any moment he would enter, ready to marry her blindly, unaware of storm brewing. Claire's lips trembled as she whispered shakily to me, "It was a mistake. I never meant it happen. It started before you and Ethan became serious, and I thought it wouldn't matter anymore in time." But he came back, and as she cut herself off abruptly, tears spilling down her cheeks. The weight of confession hit me like punch. She wasn't denying anything. She wasn't twisting truth now. She crossed a line with Ryan, undeniably so. And regardless of when, it was betrayal unforgivable. The guests around us gasped, murmurs spreading like wildfire. Some his tried to pretend they weren't listening, but their wide eyes betrayed them completely in silence. My heart clenched hard with humiliation at the thought of my private pain exposed openly before strangers I did not know. I lifted my chin upward, refusing to let anyone watch me fall apart. "You were supposed to be my best friend," I said, my voice quiet yet cutting. "You knew what he meant to me back then. You knew how deeply he had wounded my heart, and you still chose him. Do you understand what that makes you, Claire? It makes you worse than him ever was." Her tears fell much faster, and for one brief moment, I saw the girl again. The one who braided my hair during childhood sleepovers laughing, who stayed up with me until sunrise sharing dreams. But that girl no longer existed. She had been replaced completely by someone choosing desire over loyalty, over the bond we swore could never be broken. The ache in my chest spread fiercely like wildfire, and I knew I couldn't stand there another second. I turned to walk away, but before I could move, the heavy church doors behind suddenly swung wide open. Mark stepped inside confidently, completely unsuspecting of chaos, his groomsmen trailing behind him. He froze mid-step instantly, seeing Claire standing there crying and me facing her with an expression revealing everything. The room fell completely silent, every gaze bouncing rapidly between the three of us. Mark finally broke the silence. "What's going on?" he asked. His confusion was painful to witness. He looked from me to Claire, waiting desperately for explanation. My instinct screamed to protect him, to let him stay unaware, to walk into marriage blindly. But I couldn't do that, not after hearing the truth. My silence would make me part of her deception. I didn't speak a word, but I didn't need to. Claire stepped forward trembling, reaching toward him, shaking badly. "Mark, please let me explain," she stammered through her tears. His face hardened immediately as he pulled back sharply. "Explain what?" he demanded coldly. The room buzzed again softly, whisper spreading like electricity. But I couldn't stay there. This was no longer mine. I had already lost enough. Ethan gently tugged my arm, and this time I followed. As we exited through side doors, sunlight hit my tearful face. I felt betrayal weighing heavy, yet also strange release inside. For years, Claire was my safe place, my second family always. But now her mask fell, and the truth stood clear. She chose lies over loyalty, and I chose myself instead. As the church doors closed behind me, I inhaled deeply, crisp air filling lungs. My heart still ached deeply, my trust completely shattered, but for the first time, I felt strong inside myself, strong enough to walk away, even if it meant leaving a friendship I believed forever. When the church doors closed behind me, the sound of the guests' whispers and Claire's trembling voice faded into the distance, but the weight of what happened clung to me like a shadow. Ethan held my hand firmly, walking with me toward the car. His silence steady and reassuring, his presence grounding my steps. I felt his eyes on me, checking if I'd collapse soon. My chest ached with heaviness beyond anything I could explain. It wasn't only betrayal anymore. It was grief settling deeply, grief for lost friendship, grief for who Claire was, grief for 20 years' trust. I always believed she'd remain, no matter how messy life became. That illusion shattered brutally today. That night back home alone, I sat in darkness quietly, replaying memories again and again. Childhood sleepovers, late night talks, dreams of wedding someday, promises never keeping secrets. My heart sank realizing truth. She kept the biggest secret, and it wasn't only Ryan, it was who she truly was, beneath polished smiles and vows. This betrayal cut deeper than romance. It shattered trust and sacred bond. I cried until my body shook. Ethan sat beside me silently, his arm around my shoulders, reminding me I wasn't alone. In the days that followed, the fallout spread quickly. Word got around about what happened inside church walls. Guests talked freely afterward, stories bent, details reshaped, whispers traveled far beyond those who were present. Messages reached me quickly from shared friends and acquaintances. Some sounded shocked and saddened, some offered quiet sympathy, others said uneasy things like, I always wondered about her and Ryan, though. Each message felt like another sharp cut inside. Yet they also confirmed signs may have existed long before that day. I simply refused seeing them. My mother, Elena, became my anchor through those days. She brewed tea patiently, sat beside me quietly, and spoke with gentle certainty. Natalie, people reveal themselves in moments they believe no one is watching. You saw the truth. Yes. As painful as it feels, be grateful you learned before it was too late. Her words were difficult swallowing, but they planted strength within me. Ethan also became something more than just fiancé. He became my shield. He never forced conversations, never rushed my healing. But when I spoke, he listened without judgment. You didn't deserve this, he told me one night as I broke down again. But walking away like that, with dignity still intact, shows how strong you are. His belief in me helped me believe myself. Slowly, time softened memories. I stopped replaying church scenes and focused on lessons learned. I realized betrayals often come not from enemies, but trusted hearts closest. As painful as it is, they reveal hidden truths. Blair showed me loyalty without honesty is empty. She taught me smiles can hide deep secrets, that even loved ones can wound unexpectedly deep. But more than anything, that day taught me myself. It showed I had strength to face truth bravely, even when it shattered me. It proved walking away, though painful, can be powerful. And it reminded me real love, like Ethan's and family's, doesn't hide in shadows. It stands firm openly. I don't hate Claire now, though forgiveness isn't there. What I feel is different. Acceptance settled quietly instead. Acceptance that people change, that some bonds fade, and losing betrayers brings peace. The ache still exists, but it no longer controls me. Now it reminds me of survival and growth. When I look back now, I don't see perfection. I see ignored cracks, her choices, and truth. And though it hurt deeply, I'm grateful I learned early, before investing more life into friendship built on lies. Now I look ahead stronger with Ethan beside me, my mother's wisdom guiding, and clearer sense of worth. That church day didn't just end a friendship forever. It gave me a lesson. One I will carry always. You can't control others, only who you allow close. Sometimes the bravest choice is walking away proud, never looking back again. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and tell me in the comments where you're watching